Hey guys, hey girls, hey men and women, children, husbands and wives, welcome to Starbloom and Starfluke. We are going to make some, guess what? We're going to make some Starbloom glasses in Blender. And I set up and I even started a tutorial, but I forgot to plug my mic back in. So hopefully we can get these glasses rolling. So guess who's going to help us make glasses and inspire us? Smurfette, and she's very popular. So basically what we want to do is open up your Blender, and I'm going to hit Control Spacebar like that and get back where I was at. And I kind of already started without you all, but I'm going to restart again. So what we want to do is we want to start, I want to start with my glasses, and I want to put them in a symmetry like this. These are in a symmetry object, or actually a mirror object. I always forget, but see? And if I click these off, I don't have my box. So I want to put it in, and then I can model one side of the glasses and the other will match exactly. But what we have to do is, I'm going to turn that back on. I'm going to edit and do that. Control Z, hold my mouse over the viewport, Control Z, and that's back. And then I'm just going to turn these off for right now. Whoops. I'm going to click this real time. I'm going to click the mirror. I always forget. So there's a couple different ways to hide things, but I'm going to turn it off in the mirror modifier. Like this. Real time viewport. There. Now we won't see that. And I'm just going to slide this down right about here for now. And pretend that's not there. Okay. So let's start by adding an empty object right here. Now the empty object is going to be the axis center point for our mirror object. I'll click that one off. And so I'm going to be in front view. See, I'm in front view. Y. So it's nice and flat behind me. And I'm going to hit my shift key, and I'm going to right click to position my cursor, so I can hold my mouse like just right there in the center, about there, and then shift right click. And I've placed my cursor there, and now I want to add a cube. So I'm going to hit shift A, come up here to mesh, and add a cube. And it's really big, so I'm going to hit S on the keyboard, and see my little jagged line and my arrows, and I'm going to drag it down like this. And now I'm going to move this up here, slide it up. I'm grab the blue Z, the Z axis, and then the red X, and move this over here like this. Now what I want to do is I want to put this cube, first I want to make things nice and clean instead of making a big mess like I like to do. So I'm going to select the cube, and I'm going to hit M for move to collection. So I'm going to make a collection. You can click new like this and make a new collection, name it, and then hit create, and it will make a new folder box up here in our outline right here. So M, and then new collection, and I've already made one, so I'm going to click mine. Click. And then that will put your stuff in a folder, see? In the outliner, it'll just hierarchy your stuff, and then you can rename it, etc. I'm just going to say class cube for that one. And then what I want to do now is I want to put this right here in a mirror object. And so I have the cursor already on her nose, and so I will add an empty. So Shift A, and I'll come down here to empty right here. And these are all empty objects, and you can use whatever you want. I used a cone, and I'll just use a sphere this time. And the sphere was added, but notice it didn't go into my glasses box. And so I'm going to undo that. This time I'm going to select over here the folder. That way when I add the empty object, it will go into my folder, my glasses collection. So now let's do it again. Shift A, empty, and making it a sphere. And there, see it popped in the empty, and I'll just name it sphere, so you know it's an empty sphere. So it's different. See the icon there? It's like a sideways Y or a little what? Chicken bone? I don't know. So anyway, there it is. Or it's like a what's a good way to remember the empty sphere icon? Slingshot. And now you can see the orange here. I can move it like this. And then if I whoops. Just undo. I think if I G and I grab it to move it, and then I hit the G key, let the G key go, and I scroll my mouse wheel, and then I right click, it will snap back. So there it's in the center, and it's humongous. So in this case, we want to hit S, and then we can see our arrow, and we can scale it down. Click down and then scroll in and hit S again. And we can scale it whatever size we want it to be. Okay, so the empty object is there because the cube is going to mirror around this object. So if we come over here and we come down here to modifiers, and then we click modifier, and then generate, and then we come down to mirror. We get a mirror object, and we have one already. Or we have one. I don't know. Did we have one already? I think that each object has it on it. So we have another one on this object, and it easily get confused. So what we're going to do, though, now we have a modifier on this cube. This cube is what has the modifier on it. Because if we select the Smurf, see, the modifier box changes. So this is the mirror modifier. And we can just say mirror, and then we can say cube. Let's rename it. And then we'll know that's for the cube there. Now, so where it says mirror the object, so we want the object to mirror around this empty sphere that we named up here. sphere. Or what did we name it? Did we name the sphere? Yes, empty sphere. So cool. So now we have our object, our cube, and it will move around this axis. So if I move the axis this way, the cube's going to move. It's mirroring from this one. And I'll undo that, Command Z or Control Z. And now I can leave it there. So I want my glasses to be here. I want to work around her eyes like so. Perfect. Okay, so let's model out these glasses. And I'm going to set my camera. It's a little bit crooked. So I just click the camera and I click back and I'm going to hit Control Alt 0. That's going to reposition my camera. And then with the lock on, I can click the zoom in and out right here. And that will frame her better. A little bit better. The frame. And then I can click the lock off and move the hand and it'll move and I'll zoom. Then I'll click the lock and I'll move down or up. There we go. And then click the lock off and then I can zoom and it'll move this. And I'll click the camera back off. And we are in front view. I just clicked and it flipped us to back. The Y on the gizmo, on the rotation gizmo, X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to come over here real quick. I'm going to rotate around and I'm going to be working on the right side and remembering I'm in a symmetry object. And I just wanted to look at these and maybe hit the S tool and the Y and then pull my mouse, bring these in, make them a little bit narrower. And I think that's good for now. We can narrow them more after we've modeled some. But what I want to do now is I want to add a material on here. And I want to zoom out and I want to link from this material. The glasses has material on it. So what I first want to do when I link a material, it'll copy the material over, is select the cube and then shift select the empty, the one that has no material or anything, and then shift select the glasses, because it's almost like parenting. And now it makes a difference which one you select first. Now I'll hit Control on my keyboard, Control L, and this menu comes up. And I can hit Link Materials. And now I can look over here and I've linked the material. So they have the same material. I think that is so cool because you can have a lot of objects. Okay, I'm hitting the period on the numpad on my keyboard. And you can see here's our empty object here. Just not that one, but that one. That is a sphere. And I can move it up and down, but keep it centered. And that is positioning my mirrored object. So like when we scaled S, Y, they're both going to be affected, and that's going to make it easier. So actually what I really want to do now that Smurfette has helped us is I want to move Smurfette out of my way and use the Star Bloom Glasses image illustration as a reference. So I'm going to select Smurfy here. I'm actually going to come down here and select the empty that she's parented to. And then I can move her on her parented object over here. And then she can hang out and watch us. And then we'll put our glasses on her. And then maybe we can do something really fun, like if we get these glasses done, we can animate them on her, because she has these extra bones. So that will be fun. And if she gets in our way, we'll turn her off. Okay, so let's just select the empty object, and I'll show you how to bring an empty object in, because I did that in the last tutorial, but I forgot that I didn't do it in this one. So we can push this back, and I'm just going to hide it for now so you can see how to bring an empty in. I'm going to hit my Y to front view, and then I'm going to zoom in, and I set my cursor right here, so we can leave it there. But I'll show you again. We can just hit Shift, right click, and I believe that the empty will come in right there. And also it will come in flat, you know, towards me. If it's like crooked, if we rotate it, it will come in not flat. So be in front view or whatever view you want, and then hit Shift A or add image, and then click reference if you want, and then you can just click here, come in and select your image, add empty, and that brings our reference image in. And there is something excuse me, there is something interesting about the reference image. I used to get stuck on it, but you have to hold your mouse. It moves a little bit different than some of the other objects. To move it, you hold your cursor, your mouse. See how the yellow lights up? So I can move it this way. It'll scale if I click and roll my mouse wheel. And then you can scale it from the sides and position it. Whoops. But see? And then notice when I grabbed it, notice the little X, yellow X. That's where you can move it as well. And you can't see it when you first come in. So hold your mouse over the X and click down and then position it. And you can see it here in the empty, right here, empty one, and you can name it. You can say empty reference image or picture, and then turn it off and on, highlight it. So now we have our reference image, and like I said, it looks like it's moving on the arrow as well. That might be something new. Actually, maybe I was just on the pointer all the time, yeah. And then you can be on the select box, or the move tool. So you can move it on the move tool as well. And then if you're in the select mode, you can just select it and find the X. There it is. So that's cool. And then also with the empty, if you come down here to the right, and you select the empty, I think there's let's see, the empty reference image. Where is its properties? Huh. It says empty. Usually there's a spot here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. I'm on it. It's right on the image. Okay, so there's the empty. See data, and then it says empty image. And there's all the empties, and it's an empty image. Glasses image. Okay, so you've got some options right here, and I think we can unpack it. Anyway, okay, so sometimes the reference image is tricky, but there's a few tips on it. Okay, that's good. Let's make our glasses. So I'm gonna click this one off that we brought in and open my other one because I feel more comfortable with where I put that one. So you can see where Star Bloom glasses behind it. Okay, so let's select the box and let's pull them out. Let's get on this move tool. Pull them out like this. Moving down. See on the move tool, I'm just clicking on the arrow, the X axis, and the Z zoom. And then at the side, we have the Y axis. So let's leave those here. Let's select the image, the reference image, and pull it forward a bit. There we go. And then now let's select the little cubes and shift select the empty object, and let's move them back a ways like this. Very good. Okay, and let's just keep in mind that this is our empty. And now let's click this and let's scale them up. Let's make them big. Let's make them big for now. We can scale them back down. It's kind of fun. Make giant glasses. Okay, S to zoom. S and then drag your mouse to zoom. And I kind of have an idea what I'm going to do already. And it's okay if we're on the image there. We can move it. You can just model around it. Okay, the first thing I want to do now, let's see, how am I going to do this? Is I want to extrude or inset both of these sides. So let's tab into edit mode where we're going to be working. And then deselect, click off, select the front, shift select the back. And now hit I on the keyboard and drag your mouse and pull it in like about there. Is that good? Maybe let's pull it in a little bit more for now. And that inset both the back and the front. And now We can hit Alt-Z to make it transparent a little bit, and we can see through there. And then I can hit L to select and move your cursor, hover it over, and it will select the entire image. And now I'll get in the front, and I will get on my scale tool on the left and drag on the Z axis, and then I'm going to drag out on the Z. I mean the X. And I think I'm going to pull that up a little bit more. And then hit grab and move that down. And that looks pretty good. I think that's good enough. Close enough. Close enough. Okay, so now I'm going to click to the right to click off, and then I'm going to select. See the little tiny, you can come up here to your cursor, hold it down, click, hold it down, and you'll get this drop down menu. And I'm going to select the select circle, and you can change the size of the, okay, so you can see there's a little tiny dot. And then when we're on faces, which is at the top, face, and we can, oh, I zoomed my radius down. You can click on it and 25 up here on the left. That's what it normally is, 25. And then we can select the face there. Now this is the face, and then that yellow dot in the middle is the origin point. So I'm going to select the face in the front, shift select this face in the back, hit X on the keyboard, and delete faces. There we go. Okay, now let's just hide the reference image for a second. I think there's a transparency too. You can turn the transparency, but I didn't see it. What is that? Oh, I have to select it. So there, it's selected, I believe. And now, let's see, is it selected? No, because I am in edit mode, go to object mode and select it. And now we can go to the data, the little picture data, select that. And then here, see opacity? You can click it on and then scale this down. So you can scale the opacity to your glasses. I mean, to your reference image down. Like so. Just so you know, you can turn it off or on. And there we go. And I'll leave it kind of low. Okay, so let's tab back in. Let's now select our cube, our glasses, object, and tab into edit mode. And I'm going to hide my reference image for a second, for a few seckies. Reference image, edit, reference image right here. Because I want to just click here, and let's hit Z on a keyboard. Let's go to solid mode for a bit. And what I want to do now is I'm going to hit Alt-Z to turn off the transparency. And then I'm going to hit the 2, which is 2 for edge. I'm going to go to edge mode. And what I want to do is I want to hit that. Click on the edge mode right there. Shift select. And I believe I can click all of these. Shift, double click, or alt click and see it selected them. I should probably go into texture mode so we're in one color, a little bit lighter. Object mode. And go to Matte Cap, or just go to Studio for a second. There we go. That way I can just go back. I like my color setup. Okay, so I can double click and then I can shift, double click these ones, shift. And now I can come up to edge and then I can say bridge edge loops. Did you see that? Bridge edge loops. So it closed up my my edges there. So it's getting on the edge tool and then it's edge, bridge, edge tools, edge loops. And that's what we did. We selected the loops. So we can get off the edge and switch over with the 3 key, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Vertices, edges, and faces. And you need to hold your cursor over in the viewport. Okay, so now I can show you that I'm on the faces and I'm selecting the face, hitting G, and these are all connected. Right click to snap back, grab, yeah, right click to snap back. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, what do you think? Yes, it's awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, now let's hold our cursor over the object and hit L and it will select all. And I think we have to be in faces mode to do that. I don't remember. Let's try it. Let's click off it. Let's hit the 2 for the edges and let's hold the L over. Yeah, it works. So even if it's probably vertices, and then hit the L and it selects all of them, which is nice. Okay, let's scale these back. Now that I left them big so we could reach in there and get in there. And now I want to scale them. So let's scale them. Let's get onto the scale tool. See the scale tool on the left, just scale. And then click on the Y and zoom those in a bit. Okay, so that's cool. This is going to be so fun. Okay, this isn't going to take long. All right, so let's tab back into object mode. Let's hit the Z key, go to material preview, or the Z key to go through solid. No, Z. Rendered. Okay, now we're in rendered. Yay, this is where I have all my colors on my character. On my little Smurfette setup. Okay, so here we are. Now let's turn our reference image back on. Oh, that looks so cute. And And let's just start modeling these a little bit around the glasses. So I wanted to turn the image back on. Let's go back into edit mode. And now we can Alt-Z to turn the transparency back on. And then let's get on the select tool and let's get onto the select box and then just drag. Now it selected all those corners, see, because we're still in transparent mode, which is Alt-Z, or up here, toggle X-ray, or Alt-Z, off and on. Okay, so I need that to be a little bit more transparent. So let's see. Where's my transparency at? I don't know. I gotta find it. Okay, I found it. Now it's not when I'm in the rendered mode, it's not available right here in the right. So I have to click back to solid mode and then click the arrow, drop down arrow, and then it will be here, X-ray. See? So I'm going to turn that down so I can see through there better. There we go. And then pop back over. Well, look, it's not going to give me that in that mode, so let's stay here in solid mode. Now with these selected, I'm going to get in the front mode, click the Y. So we're in front orthographic view. And now I'm going to hit the G key and kind of slide that right over the glasses edge there. And it looks pretty good on this side up here. And now I'm going to come down here and click and drag over that and hit G and then move that. I'm getting in front view again. Let's move that about there. And I think it's Alt Shift, click and drag. And then I'll select this corner, hit G and move my mouse to about like that's good. Okay, now we'll just add a couple, we'll add some loops. We will cut some loops, edge cut. So we go to edge and then loop cut and slide is Control R. So let's zoom over here to the right a bit and zoom in, and then I'm going to hit Control R, but I need to be moving my mouse around. Control R, moving my mouse. So now I can see it. See, if I move it away or I move it here, it's going to pop on to where I want to cut. I'm going to cut it right there. So with my mouse hovered over it, I'm just going to right click. Control R and then right. Control R and click left click. Okay, see the arrows turned? Now if I scroll my scroll wheel, I can move up here or move down. Just roll it up. But I wanted it to be right there in the center, so I will right click and it will snap back. And now if I click off to the right over here, it will apply that cut. And you can see if I drag that and hit the G key and got it. So Control Z or Command Z to get that. Now, while I'm here, I'm just going to drag, click, drag, grab the G, get into front view, 1 on the numpad, hit G, pull it over. I'm just going to pull it straight on the X. So I hit the X while I'm doing that. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we're going to do that again. But first we're going to hit Control S and save this file. File, save as, or save incremental, save as. Make sure you save it. Okay. Now, Control S. Whoops, sorry, that was save. Control S is save. Control R. Move your mouse, roll around, move your mouse over this area, and then left click and right click, and then click off. It's kind of tricky because you can do a few different things. You need to practice it. Now I'm going to click over that, drag it, hit the G key on the, let's see, the G key, Z. And I'm going to pull that up a bit. 1. Okay, now I'm going to cut one more loop. I'm going to come over here and move this. You can hit your keyboard, Alt, Shift, or come up here and use your hand tool. So, Control R, move your mouse, and there's the yellow line. Left click and right click, and then click down to apply that. Now I'm going to shift, or I'm going to left click and select and hit G on the X and just move that over like that. Okay, so how does that look? Pretty good so far. Pretty good. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit Alt Z to look at that, and then come up here to my view solid, and then over to the right, drop down, and I'm going to go crazy if I don't have a different color. So I'm going to come down here where it says Object Color, and I'm going to hit Custom, and then I'm going to make my glasses click kind of maybe a light yellow for now, because it looks so cool. Okay, we're almost there. Simple Simon. And then we have to make this little curve. Here we can add a few more loop cuts to smooth these out. But I think I'm going to just, I don't know exactly. I might leave them just like that. Can't decide. Okay, glasses. Okay, more coming up in the next video. Thanks for making glasses with me. It's so fun. Right, Smurf. Gonna go into object mode, and I'm gonna select her and move her back. Okay, cool. So far, so good. Should make them white. Come over here. How does they look? How do they look? Change the material. yellow. Just a little yellow glow. Okay, that's good for now. We could just do this all day. This is so fun. Fun, fun, fun. Praise the Lord. Star Fluke and Star Bloom. See you later.